No face, no case, no trace, no waste in the crypto game. He's the ace in the race. No face, no case, no need to replace the king of the chain, staying in his own space.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the No Face Crypto channel. Where's the face no guys? You feel me? Alright, first things first, I want to let you guys know I am a little bit under the weather, so I apologize for my voice in advance. But with that being said, we have had so many things pop off in the last few days when it comes to Ripple. Alright, and I'll have to start this off, and I'll make this a quick video. We'll touch on every point, and then we will listen to Brad Garlinghouse's closing remarks at Ripple Swell. Guys, so much stuff has happened. I now have enough material to make another XRP documentary, and that will happen with due time, guys. But understand, this shit is it's never been a joke. As I always say, get locked in or stay locked out. Alright? We're going to go ahead and read a tweet of Monica Long's synopsis on the last few days when it comes to Ripple Swell and Ripple themselves. Now, with that being said, guys, Hidden Road is now Ripple Prime, I believe. Let's go fact check this real quick before I just start spewing out crazy stuff. Alright, guys, yes. As you can see here, Hidden Road was acquired by Ripple on October 25 and is now Ripple Prime, and they will be serving their institutional clients with crypto services. It's over, bruh. It's over. But let's go ahead and read Monica Long's tweet. No, before we get to that, yo, Solana, Ethereum, what happened? What happened, guys? I thought you guys were. I thought there was no use case for XRP. What happened? Because as far as I'm concerned, this shit is a use case. Let's go ahead and read Monica Long's tweet that we have here, right? Recapping a whirlwind. Excuse me. Let me drink my water. I'm not feeling well, guys. I do this for the love of the game. I apologize. Alright, recapping a whirlwind of announcements at Swell. Huge corporate news today. We have $500 million investment in Ripple from Fortress, Citadel, Pantera, Galaxy, Braven Howard, and Marshall Wace. Clear validation of how far we've come in our strategy moving forward. Guys, this has happened over a day. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. Today, we also announced that we're collaborating with MasterCard, WebBank, and Gemini to RLUSD on the XRP Ledger to settle fiat credit card transactions on-chain. Yes, the Gemini XRP card, this one right here, will now be used for on-chain credit card payments with the XRPL. I have this card. Y'all should have been locked in, bruh. This is exactly why you guys need to pay attention to everything that's going on, alright? Neither here nor there. That's just something slight. No big deal. What did Solana do today and yesterday? Please, someone tell me in the comments. Alright, we had a full circle moment for Ripple on Monday, welcoming back Palisades co-founders Dave Manthon and T. Kittle to the team. Tom, Palisade has built strong, scalable infrastructure that directly complements Ripple custody and payment with wallet as a service offering. And these two gentlemen who run this company, which is now acquired by Ripple, used to work for Ripple. Isn't that funny? Don't I always say how people don't leave Ripple and not work for Ripple? They build more shit for Ripple? Well, perfect example. Number 4. RLUSD crossed the $1 billion market cap, the first of many big milestones to come. Not only that, guys, we did it in 10 months. RLUSD crossed $1 billion market cap and became a top 5 stablecoin in 10 months. Come on, man. We know where this is going. Cue the flowchart. Cue the flowchart. It's over. It's over, bruh. It is over. I don't want to hear anyone from any other project talking unless we're all going to just appreciate how each other's projects are doing. I don't want to hear from Solana again for the rest of the year. Straight up. All 2026, I don't want to hear anyone from Solana talking. Y'all just went down yesterday. Huge partnership with MasterCard. What do you think is coming next? Let's go ahead and check out the profile real quick. Just in, Ripple partners with MasterCard to introduce RLUSD credit card settlements on the XRP Ledger. Boom. Boom. It's over. It's over. Boom. We've closed a $500 million strategic investment at a $40 billion valuation, led by Fortress Investment Group and Citadel Securities. We have $95 billion plus in total Ripple payments payment volume, $1 billion plus in RLUSD stablecoin market cap, 6 strategic acquisitions completed in just over 2 years, 25% of shares repurchased, 3 times growth in Ripple Prime business, and 75 regulatory licenses globally. This is a momentum building the internet of value. Apologize for my stuffiness. Guys, it's game over. Alright, the infrastructure is built. Alright, it's time to literally throw everything at the wall. Not financial advice. Not financial advice. People will see this information and still decide to not buy into XRP. Not financial advice. Absolutely insanity. And if you didn't need a reason to be even more bullish, can we just remind everybody who was at where's the Ripple Swell thing? Can we just remind everybody who was at the Ripple Swell conference? Because you'll hear Brad say it in just a second. Alright, but these people, this wasn't just a few institutions. This was every institution in the world, including the White House, including the NASDAQ. Name one. Literally name one, they were there. BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, Citadel. The BIS was probably at Franklin Templeton. We got New York representatives. Come on. Midterm elections just happened, guys. This shit is popping off. All right, I have nothing else to say. Let's listen to Brad Garlinghouse talk, and I'm gonna get out of here because I'm not feeling too great. But guys, I will have another banger of a video showing you exactly where this all goes. Understand this? All this shit that I just said in a few minutes happened in literally a few days. And remember, Ripple Prime, formerly Hidden Road, is now Ripple Prime. The tech stack is starting to become an amalgamation of shit that institutions cannot say no to. Lock the fuck in. Damn. Let's go ahead and listen to Brad Garlinghouse himself talk. Thank you.
This is live, guys. This is fully live.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, staying through the day and staying through the event, really.
Finishing strong.
Finishing strong. Brad
Hit the like button and subscribe, guys. Brad Garlinghouse on stage.
And given that it's the day after.
Yo, real quick, y'all, before we even listen to Brad Garlinghouse talk, bro. Yo, what happened, Solana? Yo, Solana, what happened? 2.8 billion. Yeah, we just bought that last week. We just bought a company worth that last week. What are you talking about? What just happened? Hey, what just happened, Solana? Oh, $2 billion. Oh, Western Union. Yeah, how does $500 billion sound? Wait till Visa hear about this. Checkmate. Bye, Solana. Y'all are done. You're cooked. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right, back to the video.
After Election Day, there's a lot to reflect on here because I think about how the 2024 election was such a game changer for the crypto industry. Breathed new life. It gave the industry a new lease on life, right?
For sure.
And Mike Novogratz was telling me on Bloomberg Television that the money from the industry swayed the outcome in 2024. I mean, it made a difference, and look at what's happened since. You've got a pro-crypto White House with skin in the game, a pro-crypto SEC. You have the Genius Act, which was passed on a bipartisan basis, and we know none of that happens on a regular basis here. So I'm curious, just to kind of start us off here, how pleased are you with the return on investment of the industry's political spending?
Everyone hit the like button and subscribe.
I should remind you, I was in that seat, the interviewer. It's a whole lot.
Yo, what he said, like button and subscribe. Quit playing.
Easier to be the interviewer than the interviewee.
It is.
But look, I agree with what Novogratz said. I actually, during the 2024 election cycle, I tweeted out something to the effect that the Dems were going to be led off a cliff by Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler. And I think the Dems underestimated how passionate and how large the crypto community was. And I think it did impact votes. So when I don't think about it in the words of a return on investment. I think about it as we as a electorate should care about the United States leadership in innovative technologies, in AI, in the early days of the internet. And certainly that's true in blockchain and crypto. And the fact that it became partisan, I will be mind-boggled this on my deathbed. Like, this is a technology that can help people and be used to improve financial empowerment. We heard some great panelists today talking about this and why we would be opposed to a technology. Now, people can use technology in ways we may not like, but we should regulate that, not the technology itself. And I think that the community of the industry leaned in. Ripple was one of the key leaders, alongside Andreessen Horowitz and Coinbase, to support a super PAC that elevated and educated voters about these issues, and it certainly impacted some elections.
And of course, the SEC's years-long campaign against Ripple basically went up in smoke following the election. You talked about Gary Gensler just now. You've described the SEC under Gary Gensler as waging a war against the crypto industry.
But that's it's Elizabeth Warren's words, and I mean,
Yo, talk your shit, Brad. Talk your shit. I'm done. Nah, I'm done playing with y'all. I'm done playing with these crypto dudes. There's one answer. It's right in front of you.
Literally, I'm not making.
Who got sued by the SEC? Lock the fuck in.
Those words up. They
them.
said we're raising an army to attack crypto.
So what would you say to Gary Gensler if you were to bump into him on the street or downstairs?
This is great, guys. Hit the like button.
I think actions speak louder than words.
So you wouldn't need to say anything?
Honestly, my honest view on this is I would not say, look, this is someone who I feel acted in bad faith. There wasn't an honest effort to engage and discuss. And I mean, you got to remember, this was when they sued us. I think many people would say, okay, you could see that maybe there's confusion about what is a currency versus a commodity versus a security. But one of the things they did that I find to be unethical is they sued me personally. And the way the law works is for me to have violated the law, I had to know what I was doing. Because for a personal charge, there's a corporate charge, and Stu Alderodi is sitting here nodding, so I'm getting something right. I feel like I learned a lot during that process. But the idea that I knew XRP was a security and acted recklessly anyway, it's just that's absurd. And they were just doing it to be bullies. And you have later on, you have even former chairs of the SEC going on TV saying that they intentionally waged pressure by going after executives. I just don't feel like that's the way the United States government should work.
So now
if I saw him on the street, I wouldn't say much. I'd say, hey.
And you turn around and
We
glare
love
at
Brad,
him.
guys. We love him. Hit the like button for
What does the
Brad.
removal of this psychological, legal, and financial burden mean for Ripple, the company? Are there any constraints, do you feel like now, on what you're able to do, on your vision, on your strategy, on your path forward?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll start with the thought. I don't think your question's about Ripple, but I think it's about the industry as a starting point. And I think we always, during the, when they first sued us, we said, this is an attack not just on Ripple, but on the industry. And at the beginning, people were skeptical of that. And I think most of the industry came around to understand that was kind of one of the first attacks on the industry that, was the first of many. And so I do think that victory, which was long and hard fought, had a huge impact on unlocking the industry's ability to kind of move forward and play offense. Now, I do think, and as we've heard from various speakers today, there has been this massive sea change, and you're seeing institutions in this room who weren't here in years past, because now you have the US government taking a friendly view of this. But some of them still won't lean all the way in unless we have it codified with law. And the Clarity Act passed the House, not yet the Senate. As we talked about this morning with Patrick Witt from the White House, he believes and we hope that we get something past the Senate before the end of the year. But I think for the largest financial institutions to lean in kind of permanently, we need that final step.
Okay, so I mean, and we'll see when Congress actually gets back to work. whether they can get that done. As for the company itself and what's at stake, it's allowed you to move forward with your strategy, and right now that's very much M&A. You've been on a buying spree, 4 purchases this year. Yesterday you announced the acquisition of Palisade, a wallet and custody firm founded by some ex-Ripplers.
Welcome home, after here.
Before that it was G Treasury for $1 billion, and then before that Rail for $200 million, and there was also the prime brokerage Hidden Road, which is now Ripple Prime. Walk us through the larger strategy. What's the unifying thesis here?
So like, Ripple aspires, and I think we are clearly in the lead, to be the blockchain infrastructure company, period. For the enterprise, for financial institutions. We started with payments, cross-border payments particularly, and that's still core to our strategy. Driving the velocity, driving the liquidity, driving the utility of XRP. We moved into custody, and that was an acquisition we made 2.5 years ago, a company based in Switzerland that really it continues to be the leading custody infrastructure for tier 1 banks, HSBC, BBVA, SocGen. We will continue to invest in that, and the announcement yesterday of a company called Palisade gives us more capabilities in that space to go beyond just kind of that tier 1 bank customer set. But we truly believe in one of the assets that I'm most excited about. We just announced G Treasury. Renat, the CEO, I believe, is here. He an outstanding entrepreneur. These guys are the dashboard for the CFOs of over 1,000 companies, and they see trillions of dollars of payments. They're that orchestration layer enabling that. They see hundreds of billions of dollars of deposits that are dormant and could be perhaps more useful if in a tokenized form like, let's say RLUSD. So, we have, I think, unlike other crypto companies, leaned into buying what I would call traditional finance assets. Mm-hmm. Hidden Road, the vast majority of their business is not digital. Certainly G Treasury, that's true. And we think that is bringing the bridge between traditional finance and kind of, we call it decentralized finance. So we're very excited about how those pieces fit together. I do think we'll probably slow down the acquisition binge in 2026, which makes
guys, if you are live, hit that like button, subscribe. This is fully live. We'll give you the full analysis. Hit that like button and subscribe.
We still got 2 months.
Do you have any ambitions to own a crypto exchange?
We looked at that a long time ago. We are very happy investors in a number of different crypto exchanges. We invested at a time when there was reticence to invest. We involved with Bitstamp and Bitso and PDEX. I forget others, but that's a very different business than the one Ripple's in. Mm-hmm. We overlap a little bit. I think the crypto industry is going to have frenemies or competition, whatever we want to call those things. We don't compete with Coinbase, but a little bit here. They have their Coinbase Prime kind of thing, and they have some institutional customers. They obviously have a very tight relationship around stablecoins with Circle. But I don't see us entering the exchange market.
Well, speaking of Coinbase, how do you differentiate yourself from Coinbase, which is also positioning itself as a crypto vendor for financial institutions getting into crypto?
Well, but look, if I took a poll here in this audience and I said, how many people think of Coinbase as a consumer company versus an enterprise company, their DNA where they started is they're a consumer company. And that's, I think, going to dominate how that company evolves. It's not to say that they won't serve the enterprise, and that's great. I mean, one of the things, even as I've had the good fortune of being on Bloomberg a handful of times, I always am advocating for the growth of the industry. This is not a zero-sum game. This industry will continue to expand. And I've said very publicly, I think the Circle IPO, although we are a competitive Circle, I'm so happy that went well. That is great for me. It's great for the industry. And so I root for them. I root for RLUSD a little bit more. But I think that we as an industry have at times been holding ourselves back by that tribalism that just doesn't make a lot of sense. And anyway, I continue to combat that.
So today's news is that Ripple has just raised $500 million in its latest funding round, getting investments from Fortress, Citadel, along with crypto firms like Galaxy Digital and Pantera Capital. You now have a $40 billion valuation. So I guess that means you don't want to or need to IPO?
We need
wow,
to.
Big question.
A lot of companies go public because they need to raise capital. Ripple has had a very healthy balance sheet that has enabled us to, buy Hidden Road and buy G Treasury, et cetera. So it has not been a short-term priority for Ripple to get public because we haven't needed to raise capital. We could have raised a lot more than $500 million. We simply didn't feel like we needed to. I am, though, thrilled, and kind of back to one of the things I said earlier, having a Fortress and a Citadel, I mean, these are truly the leading financial players and architects of financial trading in the country. And so for them to come along with us as partners and allies, I think is a very big deal. And I'm thrilled. The corp dev team at Ripple's had a busy year.
What message does that send to Wall Street, to traditional finance, to crypto skeptics?
Get on board. We talked earlier today about the fact that there's still over 50% of the financial institutions in the United States have zero exposure to crypto. There's zero chance that that's going to be true a year from now. That number is going to continue to go down and down, and that is actually.
Guys, you pretty much heard all you need to hear. There's nothing else there is nothing else to discuss. All right, look. This video is a one take. We're gonna let it hit like that. Understand? They also go on in this interview to ask how integral XRP is to what Ripple does. And I can tell you right now, Brad says it is what Ripple does. It is very integral. Forget about it. There's too much information to literally cover in one video. I'm going to have to make another hour-long banger. It's just going to be the way it is. It's going to be the way it is. You feel me? Look, I'm running on zero sleep. I feel like shit. I'm not going to lie. But the last few days have been so huge for Ripple. So big for XRP. This should make you want the price to go down so you can buy more. That's how bullish you should be. And if it didn't even matter, we have an ETF probably coming next week, if not soon. And there's 17 ETFs waiting to get approved by the SEC when the government opens back up. You're telling me XRP is not at least a few of them? Oh my lord. Oh my lord. And one last thing before I get out of here for this video, because I do not feel good. Alright? We have so many more investments to come after something like this. Every institution in the world was at this. Every institution. All of them. All of them. Every single one. Rewind. Go ahead and slow down the video if you need to. Every institution. So do you think BlackRock, who, by the way, has a building right next to Ripple Swell, do you think these people are going to make massive investments very soon? Shit is going to get crazy. Y'all need to lock in, and I will see y'all in the next video where I'm much more able to speak. You feel me? I'm out of here.
No face, no case, no trace, no waste in the crypto game. He's the ace in the race. No face, no case, no need to replace the king of the chain, staying in his own space.